Hey everybody, this is Miss Burleson from Glenwood Elementary School, coming to you today with a lesson on fractions, NF2 in third grade. Woo, third grade fractions. And today what we're going to be looking at is being able to interpret fractions with denominators of 2, 3, 4, 6, and 8 using area and length models. What's an area and a length model? Okay. And that's what we're going to look at today, along with doing a story problem. But remember, in third grade, the fractions of the denominators 2, 3, 4, 6, and 8 is what we're looking at. Halves, thirds, fourths, sixths, and eighths. Okay? So just real quickly, this standard is also, we're going to in a little bit detail about using an area model. When we use the area model, we're going to explain that the numerator, which is the number on top of a fraction, represents the number of equal parts of the unit fraction. Okay, we'll look at that. And then using a number line, explain that the numerator of a fraction represents the number of lengths of the fraction from 0. Okay, so that's a little bit of definition about using area and length models. Okay, and we'll look at some pictures of those and ways to show fractions. And all of these are partitioned into fourths. And this is the area model, which is just a drawing. I have a circle there. And using that area model, explain that the numerator, which is the number on top of a fractions, represents the number of equal parts. Okay, so I've got this area model has been partitioned into fourths, 1, 2, 3, 4, and my numerator on top tells that I have one part shaded. Okay, then on my number line, using a number line to explain that the numerator, which is still the number on top, for the 1, of the fraction represents the number of lengths of the fraction from 0. You can see that this number line has been partitioned into fourths from 0. Here's a fourth, 2 fourths, 3 fourths, 4 fourths, or my whole. Just like down here in the area model. 1 fourth, 1 fourth, 1 fourth, 1 fourth. And if I shaded all that in, the whole thing would be shaded. And then we have fraction bars. Okay? So we're going to be looking at that and looking at our vocabulary for this standard. And some of the vocabulary is numerators, which we've been getting into with our NF1. And a numerator is the number on top. Or sometimes a fraction can be written this way. I'm going to rewrite that. It can be written sideways like that. So it's the first number or the number on top to show you how many parts were used, how many equal shares were taken for something or eaten or distributed. That number tells how many parts were taken. Okay? Then we have the denominator. The denominator, I like to say that word denominator, is the bottom number. Or if you write it this way, it's that second number. Okay, and the bottom number tells you the total number of parts in the whole. Okay, so if I have a whole pizza, say this area model drawing is representing a pizza, my total number of parts, 1, 2, 3, 4, is 4. That's my denominator. My numerator is 1. That's one part of the whole. I gave one piece to my friend. Okay, so vocabulary words are numerators, denominators, area model, number line model, and fraction bar model. Okay. So we're going to be looking at a story problem today, and we're going to be drawing some things. So if you want to go grab a piece of paper and some markers, crayons, whatever you had that you were going to draw with. It would be drawing a garden and drawing some different flowers. Okay. All right, so let's look at this story problem from NF2. And I put these numbers up here as a reminder. In third grade, halves, thirds, fourths, sixths, and eighths. Those are our focus unit fractions that we're looking at. Okay, so that's just a reminder for you guys and for me when we're doing things, but that's our focus. There are other denominators, and we'll get more into that when you get into fourth grade, fifth grade. But right now in third grade, we're sticking with halves, thirds, fourths, sixths, and eighths. Okay. All right. So you guys have had time to get your stuff. All right. So let's look at this problem. Okay. Miss Burleson says to the class, "Last weekend I saw a garden. The garden had equal-sized sections, equal-sized, and the following flowers. 3/8 of the garden had red roses. 1/8 of the garden had purple tulips." I love purple. That is my favorite color. It just makes me happy. I love purple. "And 4/8 of the garden had yellow sunflowers. Draw a picture of the garden and label the different parts." Okay. All right, so let's dig deep into this story problem and just take the time to look and see what we're doing. And in math, it's okay if you only do one problem a day, because you can dig deep into that story problem and find different questions from that and different ways to look at it. Plus, it also helps you slow down to make sure that you understand the skill and the standard and a strategy to be able to help you solve a problem. Okay? So the first thing I want to do when I have a story problem, I'm finding out, what am I trying to do? What is the objective? What do they want me to do? Okay. All right. So it says that they want me to draw a picture of the garden and label the different parts. Okay. That's what they want me to do. All right. So now that I know what I'm doing, I'm going to go back and look in my story to find out what data, what information I can get from that to help me answer this. Okay. Ms. Burleson says to the class, "I saw a garden. The garden had equal-sized sections." I know I'm working in fractions, and equal-sized sections, equal shares, equal portions, that's huge in fractions. Okay. And when I saw this garden, I saw the following flowers. I saw 3/8 of the garden had red roses. We'll use another color. You don't have to. 1/8 of the garden had my beautiful purple tulips. And what else do we have? Is that all of my data? And 4/8 of the garden, since one did, let's just use this. 4/8 of the garden had yellow sunflowers. Okay. So 3/8 were red roses, 1/8 were purple tulips, and 4/8 were yellow sunflowers. And if you're not already in this habit when you are doing drawings and things and looking back in your story problems, underline that information, circle it, put a star by it to help you be able to look back in there closely to find what you need. Okay? All right, so now that I have all of my data, I know that I have to draw a picture of the garden and label the different parts. Okay? So how big should I draw this garden? Okay, I've got 3 roses. Got 3 roses. I've got 1 tulip. So that's 4. And then I've got 4 sunflowers. 4 and 4. Okay, so that's 8. I've got 8 flowers. Okay. So I'm going to kind of draw my garden a little bit big. I think I'll draw me a rectangular garden. I could draw a square. But I'm going to draw something because I want to partition this into equal-sized sections. Okay. So 3/8, 1/8. 4/8. Huh. What is this fraction telling me? 3/8, 1/8, 4/8. Let me look back at my definitions. 3, 1, and 4, those are the numerators, the top number. It tells me how many parts were taken or used. Denominators, that's the bottom number. Oh yeah, that tells me the total parts. So I have 8 total flowers, so I'm going to partition this garden into 8 equal shares, 8 equal sections. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But I'm still going to go back and count, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Do those look like equal sections, equal shares? Pretty much. Now I'm going to draw a picture of the garden and label the different parts. Okay? So 3 of those flowers are red roses. So I'm going to start right here, and I'm going to draw. I could write roses if I wanted to, but I'm just going to draw. I'm going to draw roses because I like to draw. So there's a rose. There's a rose. There's my third rose. 3 roses. 1, 2, 3. 3 red roses. Okay, so 3/8 are red roses. Okay, my next piece of information, my garden had 1/8 purple tulips. So one of these flowers is a purple tulip. So I'm going to draw here. I'm going to draw purple. I don't have purple. Miss Burleson's going to have to swing by the school and get me some more expo markers. Okay, so that drawing in this garden represents 1/8 purple tulips. And I'm labeling my units. These 3 red roses, those are 3 units in my fraction. I'm labeling that, okay? This 1 purple tulip, I'm labeling that unit. That's a unit, okay? And then I'm left with 4/8 of the garden had yellow sunflowers. Now I know I don't have yellow for sure. And I'm just going to go and draw, I'll draw red again. Two, 3, 4. Okay, so this picture and this part represents 4/8 are yellow sunflowers. I like how they used adjectives when they were describing the roses and the tulips and the sunflowers. They could have just said 3 roses, 1 tulip, 4 sunflowers, but no, they used adjectives. 3 red roses, 1 purple tulip, 4 yellow sunflowers. Okay, so now I was able to draw a picture of the garden and label the different parts. 3 of them are roses, 1 is purple tulip, and 4/8 is yellow sunflowers. What can you notice about the sunflowers in your garden? Do you notice anything? Can anybody tell me? Okay. There's 8 equal size sections. 8 equal size sections. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How many sections do the sunflowers take up? 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Huh. What do I know about 8 and 4? Right, 4 is half of 8. So in this garden, half of the flowers in this garden are sunflowers. Huh, interesting. Well, I hope you have enjoyed this story. You can create your own story. You can come up with vegetables in your garden. You can do flowers. You can plant trees. You can have a tree garden, whatever you want to do. So if you want to take this and expand on it, remember using the denominators of 2, 3, 4, 6, and 8, and using that to help you understand unit fractions. See what you come up with. Create your own story. Give it to someone in your family and have them draw out and label the different parts, and you guys have a discussion about that. Okay? I hope you have enjoyed this, talking about fractions and talking about numerators, denominators, area model, number line model, fraction bar model. So out of those, we used the fraction bar model to make our garden. So I'm going to come back to you in a few days with some more videos on fractions. And thank you for taking the time to listen to me. I hope you have a great rest of the day. And I will see you soon talking about fractions in 3rd grade. Thank you guys and have a good rest of the day.